You ever scroll through your phone and just get that sinking feeling? You see the amazing vacations, the brand new cars, the perfect home renovations, and you can't help but ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? Well, if that sounds familiar, I promise you, you're in the right place. By the end of this, you're not just going to feel better about your own journey, you're going to see the whole illusion for what it is. Okay, so let's just get right into it. This is the big question, isn't it? The one that keeps you up at night. You're trying to do all the right things, you're budgeting, you're saving where you can, and it still feels like everyone around you is living on a totally different financial planet. How is it even possible? I mean, this feeling is so real. Your friend or your coworker casually rolls up in a shiny, new, expensive car. And you're at home staring into the fridge trying to figure out if last night's dinner can be tonight's dinner too. That contrast is, well, it's jarring. But I'm going to let you in on a secret. The story behind that Tesla is almost never what you think it is. To really get what's going on, we have to crack the code. We need to look at the two biggest, most visible status symbols out there, the house and the car. These things are supposed to be the bedrock of the American dream, right? But more often than not, they're actually the foundation of a huge financial illusion. So let's talk real numbers for a second. If you want to buy a totally averaged, median-priced home in the US right now, by the time you add up the mortgage, the property taxes, the insurance, you are looking at a monthly payment that is well over $3,000. That is a massive chunk of anyone's paycheck. And here's where the picture gets really clear. The standard financial advice, the guideline, says you should try to keep your housing costs under 30% of your gross income. But for someone earning a median salary, that $3,000 payment is a jaw-dropping 60% of their monthly pay. That's not wealth. We have a name for that. It's called being house poor, and it's like living in financial quicksand. Okay, so now let's wander out to the driveway. That brand new SUV, which feels like a pretty normal car for a family these days, is so much more than that $900 payment you see advertised. When you throw in insurance, which isn't cheap, plus gas and maintenance, that vehicle is costing you over $1,300 every single month. You combine that with the mortgage we just talked about, you've already spent more than the average person's take-home pay, and you haven't even bought food yet. So, if the math just doesn't add up, what are we missing here? What's the secret variable? Well, it turns out there's this huge invisible support system propping up these lifestyles. And it's the one thing you will almost never, ever see posted on social media. The scale of this is honestly mind-blowing. A full one-third of young adults in America are living at home with their parents. Think about what that does to your finances. You wipe out rent, utilities, probably a huge chunk of your food bill. That frees up thousands of dollars a month to spend on, well, other things, like a brand new car. And listen, even for those who don't live at home, the support is often still flowing. Recent surveys show that parents who are helping their adult kids out are giving them, on average, close to $1,500 a month. That's like having a secret, second, tax-free income that's covering the rent, or the car payment, or the phone bill. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? You see the end results. You see the cool apartment, the new iPhone, the fancy dinners out, but you don't see the engine that's making it all run. That curated online life conveniently forgets to mention the parental subsidy making it all possible. And all of this leads us straight into a huge psychological trap. See, that feeling you get, that feeling of not measuring up, that's not some personal failure. It's actually a deep-seated human instinct. But in our modern world, that instinct has been completely hijacked. In psychology, they call it social comparison theory. It's basically a fancy term for the fact that we are hardwired to look at the people around us to figure out where we stand. It's a survival thing. The problem isn't the instinct itself. The problem is that our definition of people around us has changed dramatically. Just think about this for a minute. It used to be that you'd compare yourself to your actual neighbors, your coworkers, maybe your cousins. Your comparison group was small, it was local. But now you're comparing your average Tuesday to the curated highlight reel of literally millions of people online. You're comparing yourself to the wealthiest, most successful, statistical outliers on the entire planet. It's a game you are designed to lose. And here is the reality check that I think we all need to hear. That high-flying lifestyle that seems to be everywhere online, it is incredibly rare. Only 9% of households in the entire United States make over $200,000 a year. 9.
So you're comparing your reality to a tiny, tiny fraction of the population and then wondering why you can't keep up.
So, how do we break free from this crazy cycle? The answer is to stop playing their game altogether and start playing your own. It's all about shifting your entire focus from performing wealth to actually building it quietly, consistently, for yourself. This right here is the most important mindset shift you can possibly make. The real prize in life isn't a luxury car. It's not a bigger house. The real goal is freedom. The freedom to walk away from a job you can't stand. The freedom to handle a medical emergency without panicking. The freedom to make choices based on your own desires, not based on what you owe to someone else. And you get to that freedom by celebrating the wins that nobody else ever sees. I mean, these things, they don't get you a single like on social media, but they are the literal actual building blocks of financial security. Every single one of these is a massive victory on your path to real wealth. And look, the math of just opting out, it's incredibly powerful. By making a conscious choice for a more modest lifestyle, maybe you rent instead of stretching for that huge mortgage, or you drive your paid-off car with pride, you can free up a ton of cash. In this simple example, that's $1,200 a month. And that money, that's not just savings. That's a tool. It's your freedom fund that you can invest to build a life you actually control. So your path forward from here? It's pretty straightforward. Step 1. You have to redefine what success actually means for your life, not for your social media feed. Step 2. Start noticing and celebrating all those quiet, invisible wins you're making. And step 3. Make the conscious choice to opt out of the game of trying to look rich. The next time you feel that little pang of comparison, that feeling of being behind, I want you to stop and ask yourself this one simple question. Because the performance is exhausting and it is incredibly expensive. But the building is quiet, it's powerful, and it's all yours. The choice is up to you.